A currency specialist. Let's focus in on the Naira. Why did the central bank fail to meet the $280 million demand at its auction on Monday?
Hi Fenly, thanks for having me. At the auction on Monday, the demand was actually huge, but the CBN actually offered 250 million. Demand was about 270 million. Just a shortfall about 20 million came out on the auction. But basically, we've seen the central bank actually at any point in time offering, selling out the total amount that they actually offer. I think the central bank's take is to gauge what an approximation of what the expected demand would be, and on the back of that actually puts the amount on offer. If you take an instead of what happened today, again you see the central bank offering about 300 million and selling off about 300 million. Sorry, excuse me.
All right, Nwabueze, but why is there such a Nwabueze, why is there such a strong dollar demand right now? Really, right now we're seeing the demand for the dollar actually coming through the central bank window. Recall that last week we actually had some oil inflows coming to the market, and as such, we didn't see such demand that would have come into the window actually didn't go through the window. So with the oil demands, oil inflows out of the market currently, you now see that all demands will actually flowing through the central bank window. That's basically why you're seeing such demand. And of course, I think business activities are generally picking up, and you see people actually going into to build up inventories, going into the exchange market to get raw materials, and generally, that's our take on that. Well, there is a fuel scarcity in the country, and the demand for USD is obviously from the fuel importers. How is this affecting the currency?
I think on the back of that, we actually noticed a few of those oil companies actually coming into the market from last week's auction, and we'll see. We expect to see such sustained trend. That might be one of the on the back of the increased demand we're seeing in the market also. But outside of that, really, it's not really been so much of an effect to the market. Why? Because the CBN has at any point in time given the impression or the information that they are able to meet whatever demand that comes into the market. So on the back of that, we are not really seeing so much of pressure on the dollar at this time around. We actually see the dollar trading stable. Actually did some appreciation as our way it closed from yesterday, Fenly.
Well, in the interbank market, we're seeing that banks are borrowing for the short term from other banks that are liquid. So which banks exactly are showing liquidity and which ones are showing lack thereof?
It's actually very difficult to gauge that, really, because you find people really, I mean, at the rates at which the interbank rates are, it's difficult to say that, okay, these are net placers or these are net takers from the market, because people generally have their strategies, and as a result, you could see some swing in what the market is doing. We'll definitely say that, yeah, a few of the top 3 or 4 banks, yes, are basically liquid and have so much money to put in the market. But outside of that, I think the market just generally awash with liquidity, and it's really difficult to gauge exactly who is doing this and who is doing that. Generally, depending on whatever strategy the bank is adopting at any point in time, you might see a few come into the market as takers, and you might see some other one go into the market as placers. Fairly.
Well, the peace talks has been called off in the Niger Delta on Saturday, and of course this is going to affect the output of the oil production in the country. What's the outlook for the forex market?
I think currently right now people are just watching cautiously in the market to see exactly how it turns out. People want to see exactly what the production capacity would be like at the end of this quarter coming in, to see if it actually is improved as expected, or if there's been any downward review in the production capacity that would have come out. But generally, I think the market is actually watching cautiously on that, and I think the figures that come out on the production capacity will be a major driver to what the market will do and how we react on it. But basically, our take is that the market generally just go trading cautiously on that and not being overly
optimistic or overly pessimistic on what the breakdown on Turks would actually portray for the currency.